Hello everybody, welcome to Scott and Tracey's Home Cookin'. Tracey and I decided we wanted to present our homes and our real estate and our market updates in a creative way. And both Tracey and I love to cook. She does this very well. I'm winging it, but that's okay. She's going to teach us today how to make a fantastic French toast for Christmas morning that's really easy. So you can prepare it the night before, have it popped in the oven the next morning and ready to go for the kids when they wake up for Santa Claus. We're also going to talk a little bit about real estate. So we'll talk about market updates, what's going on in the market, and sometimes we'll have guests.
But first, I need a cocktail.
You need a cocktail, yes. Forgot to tell you, we're also going to always have a cocktail because, you know, what's cooking without a cocktail? Today is a caramel apple cider that can both be with alcohol for the adults, but the rest of it can also be for the kids. So this is going to be a friendly drink for both. What I'm also going to do while making the cocktail is every Christmas, actually at my ex-mother-in-law's house, Debbie, shout out to you, every time we came over at Christmas, it smelled wonderful. And what she always did is she always had a pot on the stove with all kinds of different fruits and spices, and it just made the house smell like Christmas. And so we're going to do the same here. Now this isn't Debbie's recipe, so I do need to say that hers is probably better. This is just one that I grabbed off of HGTV. We will have a URL or a link so that you can look that up yourself if you want to do the same thing. So the first thing you want to do is you want to get an apple, an orange, and a lemon. You're going to slice that up. You can do it any way you want. We just did it this way because it kind of looks nice. But we're going to bring that over to the stove. This is a serving size for 10 people, so it should pretty much be the whole family. Now I've already started some. So there's about 76 ounces of the apple cider. Pop that in. You're going to want to get that to a boil, and then you're going to want to turn it down to low. I guess we're going to call this Christmas potpourri. I don't know what the right term is, but the fragrance is you're going to want to boil 2 to 3 cups of water and then add your ingredients. So what I'll do in this case is I'll just add the rest of the apple cider. Okay, we'll do that. And then on the caramel apple cider drink, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of whole cloves, add 8 ounces of the ice cream caramel. Now I'm just kind of eyeing this one because it's about half this container. Now, just so you all know, I have an allergy to dairy, so I'm not supposed to eat dairy. So in my mind, caramel is not dairy. I'll suffer the consequences. It's too good. And then we add 3 cinnamon sticks. 2, 3. And the other 2 cinnamon sticks, I'm going to add that to the potpourri. On the potpourri, we're going to add apple. And you can just do any apple, any orange, you know, type of orange, and then of course a lemon. Now, some people don't put as much, but I like it. So I always put a little extra. And also we're going to put in some of the whole cloves as well. About, I'd say probably about a tablespoon. We're going to bring that to boil. And again, once it gets to boil, bring it down to simmer. And then on the stovetop potpourri, we are going to make sure that you want to, throughout the day, be adding water. Because every once in a while, when we got distracted and it cooked down to where all the moisture was gone, whoo, let me tell you, that is not a fun pan to have to clean. So always make sure you're adding a little water to keep that scent. And it'll last for hours throughout the day. So in a little while, this whole house is going to start smelling amazing. Back to the cider drink. We're going to get that stirred up, get that caramel nice and liquidated. Once we kind of get that ready to go, you're going to just pour that into your cups, a little whipped cream, caramel sauce on the top, and it's great, and vodka. And we'll do that when it's ready. But now what we're going to do is we're going to start on the French toast.
Yum.
Tracey is going to teach us how to make what?
It's overnight baked French toast. So
I got to cook all night?
no, so raising a large family as I have, you learn shortcuts in life, and this is one of the shortcuts I learned. and it's an overnight baked French toast. So you prep it the night before, you stick it in the refrigerator with a little saran wrap over the top. Next morning, you add your topping and you sprinkle it on, bake it in the oven, and boom, you're ready to roll. That way it gives you a little, little time to do your sausages or whatever else that you need to add in towards your morning meal. So the first thing you're gonna do, and you can double this recipe easily, but considering family is grown and gone, we've sized down.
Okay.
So this is actually, I believe, an 8x8 pan that we're gonna mix it in. Yeah.
Before we do this, I want to explain, Tracy's teaching me how to do this, but I'm doing a non-dairy version. We have, my daughter's lactose intolerant, I'm allergic, so I'm using, all the items I'm using don't have dairy. She's doing the full-on dairy, just so I kind of know what we're working with here.
And if you're intolerant,
Yeah.
you can actually do the egg substitute with this too. It works out great. I bake with that occasionally for people.
Okay.
Anyway, so we're gonna grease the bottom.
Okay, just
and
the
then,
bottom, not the side?
And the sides.
Oh, okay. All right.
And I like butter, so be literal. Next, you're gonna use a crusty French bread. Actually, you can use sourdough also. It works really, really nice. It's gonna be about, for this recipe, 1/2 pound. So in this case, it's a 1/2 loaf of bread. You're gonna cut it into cubes, anywhere from 1 inch to bite size, whatever you're comfortable
Kind
with.
of about that is what I'm aiming for.
So here's your, and honestly, it works best if you let the bread kind of stale and get dry, kind of like when you're doing stuffing. That way it absorbs the egg mixture really nice.
That part I didn't do. I bought this last night, so.
That's okay.
Is it still gonna be all right?
It's great, because, you know, it still absorbs. Right, so Scott's just gonna finish up cutting up these cubes. And then meanwhile, I'm gonna start cracking eggs. So when I bake, I like to use a jumbo egg, mainly because, well, they're big. And I like big things, so.
You can tell that now I didn't have jumbo eggs.
Scott's
so
egg.
You can see the right?
My egg.
But you know, as long as I got two. Anyway.
So substituting that, when you do a jumbo egg, you can stick strict to the recipe, but since Scott has 4 small ones, we're gonna add a 5th one. That's gonna give it will give the volume that we need in the dish. So we're gonna go ahead and crack the 5 eggs into your bowl. Thank you.
Except for when you get the little extra in your
little shell. So do you know how to get the shell out?
Just one tiny one there.
So you actually, if you put the shell into it, it will actually track the shell to come back into the other egg. So once you get that going, you're just gonna whisk.
I have to rinse the egg off. Drives me crazy.
You're gonna put in 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, 3/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Now, I'm a cheater on vanilla. I will occasionally add more vanilla than they're supposed to, you know, the recipe calls for.
I put a lot of vanilla.
I like it, so I gotta borrow your vanilla.
Fine. How much of the vanilla was it?
It is 2 teaspoons. And then you're gonna add that into your mix. Go 3? Yeah. Excellent. And
we'll go 3 and go from there.
For that really vanilla taste. And then just combine until it's smooth and incorporated. So we can use any type of non-dairy, nut milk, silk, almond milk, whatnot. If you like, you're gonna be using 1.5 cups.
Okay.
If you want it really rich and creamy, you're gonna use 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream, 1 cup of 1/2 and 1/2 or milk. And I am doing all 1.5 cups of 1/2 and 1/2. Variants that you could do in this mixture are, something we've done a lot is either pecans. You can either put the pecan in the mix or you can use it in the topping that we're gonna make. Blueberries.
That's good. I'm not a pecan guy.
Chopped apple. What else would be good? Peaches. Berries of any sort that you're into. Yeah, so you can put it either in the mix or you can put it on the side of the dish.
What is it, about,
it's
say
a 1/2 pound.
Okay, so it's about half of this.
And then we're just gonna toss it into the mixture so it's coated nicely. This is not alchemy, this particular recipe. When you bake, it's alchemy, but when you are making dishes like this, you can always, you know, tweak it to your liking. So it should have absorbed quite a bit of the egg and milk. And in your case, soy. Place it in your pan.
Okay. Oh wait, you want to do it towards the camera, right?
Well, you know. And then normally you would go ahead and you would saran wrap over the top, and you place it in the refrigerator. It actually only needs maybe 4 to 5 hours maximum. So if you're thinking this is a great dinner, do it in the morning, and then you could take it out in the evening. But otherwise, cover it up, refrigerate until the next day.
Okay. So we're covering this basically?
Yep. So for the toppings, this one's going to take 4 tablespoons of brown sugar packed, 4 tablespoons of granulated sugar, and a half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, a fourth a teaspoon of ground nutmeg, and then about 2 tablespoons of butter.
Okay. I got the tools, might as well use them, right?
Reminds me of I can't believe it's not butter days.
Well,
remember Fabio?
And it literally isn't butter.
You remember Fabio? I can't believe it's not butter. And then to cut it, you want to incorporate it by cutting the butter into the mixture.
What does cutting into mean?
So like when you make pie crusts or pastries, they call it cutting. So what they do is they take butter or Crisco or shortening, and they cut it, meaning they smash it with and here's the...
So I should be using a fork is what you're saying?
Technically a fork would be super awesome. Try not to throw it around. Cover this, and the next morning, just pop it open.
Refrigerate?
You don't have to.
Okay.
Unless non-dairy says.
Oh no, non-dairy.
No, don't you remember growing up and there was butter on the table all the time?
No, but.
Yeah, butter on the table all the time, pre-softened, spreads on your.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Nope, butter you can leave out. Also something, the baking side of me, butter actually will stabilize in sugar. So it can actually be left out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
After you pull it out the next morning, make sure it's nice and crumbly. And then we're just gonna very gently.
Now, do you want to top that? You top it before you bake it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's gonna be preheated at 350.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
What if I forgot to make it last night? Can I still bake it, or is it better that it
It's
sits?
always better that it sits because the egg absorbs into the bread better. But if it is like last minute, I would say half hour, you'll get some good absorption and it should be fine.
Okay, good to know.
Toss it one more time though, if you're gonna do that before you actually put the topping on, so it incorporates the egg. So then we're just gonna kind of gently fluff it onto the...
Fluff it? And I'm gonna save mine because I'm not gonna actually be able to cook the non-dairy one today. So what I'll do is I'll do a follow-up to tell you how it turned out, because I'm gonna save it for my kids for tomorrow, and we'll give it a shot. So I'm gonna put mine away and we're just gonna show you this one.
So, voila.
Voila.
Bake for 40 to 50 minutes. I always like to bake things a little on the over because I have fears of salmonella and things like that.
Undercooked stuff.
Undercooked. So you can actually, to check it, you would put a little pressure into it with your fork and it should firm and shrink back, bounce back. This also will come out of the oven puffy. So remember, when it drops, do not panic. It's just, that's the way eggs go.
So what you're saying is when it's cooked, it's going to puff up.
Yep.
But then when you let it rest, it's going to slowly go
drop down.
Okay.
Yep. There you go.
So now
350, 40
we'll get
50
that
minutes.
into the oven.
Yep.
And then we'll show you the finished product in a moment. So I think we are ready for our caramel apple cider beverage. And we are at our client's home today in Lake Stevens, and host always has to have a drink too. So we're gonna make sure that they get one. And not only are they gracious hosts, but they are also the camera crew, the director, the artist, the editor, and everything.
We'll pick it up later. Don't worry.
No, I can't remember which one had vodka and which one didn't.
Oh.
This one didn't, did it? This was... Well, but they're yours, so both of these are yours. One of you is going to have a really strong one. These can be both with or with alcohol. Obviously, on this channel, it's with. This one already had some. Tracy, this is yours. What did you, a 2-second pour? 1,000 to 1,000. That's a true second pour. I don't know if any of you have gone to restaurants lately, but when I get my drink, I think, these bartenders don't know what they're doing. But then I realized I was the bartender for a year and a half, and my pour isn't quite as accurate, I don't think. See? Oh, look at that! Okay, nope, this one. So I'll take a moment. Now this drink is best topped with a whipped cream topping. It's probably good to buy enough whipped cream for everyone. Luckily, since I don't eat dairy, it's okay that I don't have it. So we're good there. Now, of course, it's caramel apple, so you've got to continue with the caramel. Yeah, Starbucks, you ain't got nothing on me. Tell you this, I love Starbucks, but the one thing they don't serve is special sauce. Tracy, for you, is it too hot? I got it? Okay.
So our 40 to 50 minutes is up, so we're gonna go in and take a peek.
See what this thing looks like. Ooh, that looks good.
Oh, and I'm faking it because normally, like I told you earlier,
This is movie magic.
yep,
Oh, hot.
it would be puffy. So when I made this morning, it actually rose up to the edge of the pan.
This is what it looks like once it's settled after, what you said, about 10, 15 minutes? Or?
Yeah, about 10, 15 minutes, it will drop down. And then do not panic because that's what it does. It's what's supposed to do.
Okay.
So,
fantastic.
and then about 5, 10 minutes later, it'll be cool enough to go ahead and cut. And then just place it on your plate. And then all of those goodies that you can add. Do a little blueberries. Well, let's go syrup. And I endorse Mrs. Butterworth.
Well, we are children of the 80s.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
70s and 80s. Miss Butterworth was the bomb.
And this does reheat really nicely. So if you make a big pan of it, you
Okay.
know, you can eat on it a few days.
Just a little warm up in the microwave is all you need?
That's all you need, a couple of
Okay.
minutes. And then we're just gonna do a little
Makes it look
purdy.
a little snow. There she is. Looks fantastic. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to invite our homeowners to come in and give it a taste. Because I can't taste it. It's got dairy in this one. So if you guys come on in, let's try this. We brought our wonderful homeowners and host here to taste this because obviously Tracy knows what it tastes like. I can't taste it because it's made with dairy. So I'm going to need you guys to dive in. Here's 2 forks for you. And unlike, you know, other television or streaming things that you see, they'll be honest. If they don't like it, they'll say they don't like it. Right? Yeah.
Really good.
Hey guys, thanks again for watching. My name's Scott Marcus. This is Tracy Bannister at Marcus & Bannister Real Estate. Call us anytime with any of your real estate needs. Don't forget to subscribe, click the bell for notifications, and give us a like. We'd appreciate it.
How about the bell?
I did. I said the bell for notifications.
I missed
Yeah,
it.
we're new. Tracy and I have known each other for, what?
Over 30 years.
30 years. Went to high school together, and we're local, both of us, and so we know the real estate market really well, and we'd love to help you out in any way.
Go
So-
Chiefs.
Yeah, Coach, thanks again for watching. Good morning, everyone. As promised, an update on the baked French toast for Christmas morning. This is the non-dairy version. Just took this out of the oven, so you can see that it's a little puffier. And now I'm gonna let it rest, and then we'll come back in about 10-15 minutes and give her a taste. All right, stay tuned. What should we say? Okay, here we are after letting it rest for 10 to 15 minutes, and you can see it did shrink down like Tracy said, but it looks fantastic. We've already taken a couple of pieces here to get them ready. A little syrup. And of course, you gotta have a little powdered sugar to make it look good. Okay.
It looked like it was snowing.
That's it. It is snow. Didn't you know that?
Wink, wink.
And for Samantha. All right, and this is the non-dairy version, and my taste testers are going to be my daughter Samantha. Hello.
Hi.
And my son Kian. Hello.
Okay, you said
All right.
Samantha like, oh, Samantha. You said Kean like he's a murderer.
Well, no, I did a deep voice because you're a man. All right, so give it a taste. And be honest, if you don't like it, say, hey, it's not my cup of tea, or if it's good, let us know.
It is still hot.
It is really hot.
Well, fresh baked French toast.
But it's good. It's like it melted. When I was eating it.
Kind of melts in your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
You like it?
I just said that.
I like how the top is crunchy and the bottom does melt in your mouth. But I feel like I can taste that it's not dairy. I can taste the flavor of... Yes, I can.
All right, but is it good, non-dairy?
Mm-hmm. It is good. It makes it sweet.
So what do you think? Do you think you could go without syrup?
Well, I don't know because I didn't have it without syrup.
Well, I mean, sweetness-wise.
Maybe, yeah.
See, again, my kids are smart Alex, too, so. Well, thank you, guys.
Also her boyfriend.
I think it's a success, so Tracy, great job, my friend. Merry Christmas, everybody.